Still on matters education, every child is entitled to free and compulsory education, but when it comes to visually impaired learners in this country, many are facing a lot of challenges to access education. The principal from Kibos Special Secondary for the visually impaired in Kisumu County is pleading for change. He is calling on the government and the community to help give the learners the education they deserve. Reporter Sheila Nyamwaya recently visited the school and brings us this feature story. Let's take a look.
For these students, singing is a source of hope and pride. Sharon Atieno Okelo is a student here at Kibos Special Secondary. She is gradually losing her sight and refers to singing as a stress reliever.
Sometimes, when you're at home, maybe someone comes, then you're being told that, no, you're blind, just sit down, you cannot do this.
Here at Kibos, it isn't like that. Her teachers encourage her and the other 163 students to keep working hard for what they love. But the school faces many challenges.
We have so many urgent needs that people who are touched outside there should come in and support this school so that these learners are almost comfortable. They cannot be very comfortable, but they should be almost comfortable.
The school also lacks a proper fence, posing security issues. And despite it being a school for the visually impaired, it doesn't have pavements, making it difficult for learners using white canes to move around. The principal says the school is also in dire need of infrastructure. These are future classrooms, and these are dormitory for girls.
We have begun constructing.
The national government gave the school 10 million shillings, only enough for laying the foundation.
Let us see the rooms for Wing A.
He says when it's complete, the dorm will be comfortable for 224 girls to sleep. Right now, they are on a borrowed accommodation at a primary school next door.
Some girls are sharing beds, not good. Some are sleeping on the floor, then they start attracting very funny diseases.
The primary school is complaining that the infrastructure that they had sublet us should be let free. So as we speak, our girls are supposed to come this side any moment from now.
The boys have a dorm, but they don't have enough mosquito nets. And Kisumu County is a malaria hot zone. The school also doesn't have a vehicle, and the principal says some students are epileptic and have to be rushed to the hospital quite often.
I know President William Ruto is very generous in this. He has given buses to very many special schools, and he forgot Kibos Special Secondary.
They do not have a dining hall that will accommodate them all, so the students are forced to eat anywhere they can. School officials say delays from the government to release support for food forces them to depend on the generosity of suppliers.
So because of the lack of the money or the prompt release of the funds, you realize that we are not able to give our children quality food.
Lynette Okoth is the deputy principal and teacher here at Kibos.
We take positive 2, we are multiplying by x plus 3.
She says students use a variety of devices to learn, but the best one is called an Orbit reader. Teachers can upload materials, and then the machine turns the content into braille.
By the coming of Orbit, it has helped even our performance.
But she says they don't have enough. They need 39 more in order for every braille user to get access to one.
It can store a lot of information. Orbit saves time. They just click and it opens up.
Clearly, there are a lot of challenges facing this school, but those who support the visually impaired learners say the situation at some other schools is even worse.
Kibos is a good school. You should go to some of the schools that we support.
Supana Biswas is the CEO of Kilimanjaro Blind Trust Africa, located in Nairobi. The organization focuses on distributing assistive devices to visually impaired schools across Kenya. She says they are planning to provide devices for every learner in a school for the visually impaired by the end of 2023.
That's like $2 million we're talking about just for the devices.
The Basic Education Act of 2013 in the Kenyan Constitution clearly lists the obligations of the government as having to provide infrastructure and learning equipment to special schools.
Private organizations or non-governmental organizations cannot be responsible for what is the responsibility of the government.
The Education Cabinet Secretary says the government will work on getting more assistive devices.
And, of course, it's a continuous process. We will be able to carry out an assessment so that those institutions that are not having enough, we will be able to fast track and ensure that we have what is required.
Back at Kibos, the principal is urging any organization, donors, and well-wishers to join hands to enable the school to achieve its objective.
We want to see these learners compete with the other folk in the career market. We want to see them take their share of the job market.
Disability is not inability.
Speaking about the future, Sharon is dedicated to becoming successful. She aspires to be a journalist.
Will we reach our destiny? Yes!
They may not be able to see, but when it comes to singing, the Kibos students compete fiercely, creating joy for themselves and those around them. Sheila Nyamaya for KBC at Kibos Special Secondary for the Visually Impaired in Kisumu County.